Welcome back. So, in 2026, Formula One isn't just tweaking the rules. Oh no. It's hitting the big red reset button on pretty much everything. The car, the engine, the fuel, how the drivers actually race, it is all being totally and completely reimagined.
Just imagine for a second, what if you could redesign the sport from the ground up? And what if you had one single mission? To make the racing closer and more thrilling, to pioneer some seriously radical new tech, and to build a genuinely sustainable future. Well, that's exactly the ambition for 2026. And let's be crystal clear about this. The changes that are coming are, without a doubt, the biggest in the sport's modern history. We are talking about a fundamental shift that touches the chassis, the power unit, and the very rules of how you go wheel to wheel on the track. Okay, let's dive into this.
So, here's how we're going to break down this massive overhaul. We'll look at three main parts: the new car, the power unit reset, and the new rules of engagement. And then, we're going to tackle the big question on everyone's mind. Is this incredible gamble actually going to work?
All right, let's get into our first section and see how the cars themselves are being completely rethought. F1 is moving away from the big, heavy, kind of bulky cars we've seen lately and embracing this whole new, nimble car philosophy.
The drivers have been saying this for years, right? And as you can see from this quote from George Russell, the people in charge have definitely been listening. The result is what they're calling a dimensional revolution.
The cars are going on a serious diet. For starters, they're going to be shorter, with the wheelbase getting chopped by 200 millimeters.
They're also getting narrower, shrinking by 100 millimeters.
And here's the big one, they're going to be a lot lighter. We're talking a drop of a full 32 kilograms. The whole point of all this is to create a much more agile machine that can give us that better, more intense wheel-to-wheel racing we all love.
But, maybe the single biggest and most exciting change to the car is the introduction of active aerodynamics. This is a real technological revolution for F1, something that goes way, way beyond the simple DRS flap we're used to.
And check this out. This concept drawing shows you exactly how it'll work. For the first time ever, both the front and the rear wings will have movable parts that can actually change their angle on the fly during a lap.
So the key thing to get your head around is that drivers can now switch between two different modes. The default is called corner mode, or Z mode. That's when the wings are angled up for tons of downforce and maximum grip. But then when they hit a straight, they can hit a button and go into straight mode, or X mode, which flattens the wings out to just slice through the air and unlock some insane top speeds. Okay, so that's the car. Now, let's look under the hood at something just as radical, the power unit. I mean, if you thought the aero changes were a big deal, the engine reset is on a whole other level.
This right here is the heart of the new engine, a totally new way of splitting the power. F1 is moving to a near 50-50 split between the good old internal combustion engine and pure electric power. That's a massive leap forward for hybrid technology. And to get that 50% electric share, the power coming from the kinetic energy recovery system, the MGU-H, is getting a crazy boost. We're talking an increase of nearly 300%, jumping from 120 kilowatts all the way up to a staggering 350. And here's a huge bit of news. In a move to make the power unit simpler and attract new manufacturers, like Audi, the MGU-H is being completely removed. That thing was just insanely complex and super expensive, and it was a huge barrier for anyone new wanting to build an engine. So getting rid of it was absolutely essential for the future of the sport.
So what's going to be powering this new beast? A whole new generation of fuel. We're talking 100% advanced sustainable e-fuels. This stuff is created from things like waste and carbon capture, without using a single drop of crude oil. It's a huge part of F1's mission to be net zero by 2030, and it's a really powerful statement about their green ambitions.
So we've got a new car, we've got a new engine, which of course means we need new rules for how the drivers are actually going to race, and, maybe most importantly, how they're going to overtake each other on the track.
All right, first things first, get ready to say goodbye to the DRS rear wing. Yep, after 15 years, the aero-based overtaking system is being retired. It's being replaced by a completely new engine-based system called overtake mode.
Now this is where things get really interesting, because the battle for position is shifting from simple aerodynamics to strategic energy management. With DRS, it was kind of just an on-off switch. But with overtake mode, drivers are going to have to think more like chess players, figuring out the perfect moment to deploy this massive electrical boost for the most effective attack.
It's not just about hitting a button on a specific straight anymore.
And of course, holding all of these huge technical changes together is a new financial framework. To account for the massive amount of R&D needed to build these brand new cars and engines from scratch, the cost cap is actually being increased. This just makes sure teams have the resources they need to innovate, but still within a controlled environment.
Okay, let's just zoom back out for a second. We've seen a new car, a new engine, and new rules. With all of these revolutionary changes happening at once, what's the point? What is Formula One actually trying to achieve here? What's the end game?
This massive gamble, honestly the biggest regulatory reset in decades, it's all about chasing these goals. The aim is to create a sport that's faster, fairer, and more sustainable. One that's better for the drivers, more attractive to car makers, and, most important of all, delivers a way more exciting show for the fans.
So, when it all comes down to it, it's this. Formula One has laid all its cards on the table. It has bet the house on a bold, new vision for 2026. One built on nimbler cars, incredible hybrid power, and sustainable tech. But will this incredible revolution truly kick off a new golden age for the sport? Well, only time will tell.